Hey everyone, welcome back to my Dev Web App channel. Today I'll explore the Astro framework and build a blog using the tutorial. As you can see, Astro is the web framework for content-driven websites. I have not had any experience with Astro so far and will start by following their tutorial. Let's see what we can build. I'm going to open resource and go to tutorials. And as you can see, we have tutorial build your first Astra block. Okay, and you can check the doc, and I'm going to check this first point as checked, and go to about this tutorial. And okay, what do I need to know to get started? HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, and I can check it as done and go to the next point and set up. And let's check what we need. And GitHub, Netlify, I'll skip it for now. Okay, and we need Node.js, and I can open my Visual Studio Code, open terminal. Let's check, and they propose to check Node version. I can check, and I have version 20. Okay, and let's go next. I can access command line. I have terminal, I have Node.js installed, and I have code editor like Visual Studio Code. Okay, and I can go next and create your first Astro project. Okay, and I can copy this command and provide it to my terminal. And let's check. And now I need to provide my project name, and let it be Astro block. Okay, and install dependencies and init git repo. Okay, and let's check what I have next. Okay, we agreed to GitHub to install dependencies, and then we can open project in Visual Studio Code or any code editor that are you using, and then we can run Astro in dev mode. And let's go back to Visual Studio Code, and dependencies were installed, and I can open my project in my Visual Studio with file open folder. And I opened my Astro block in Visual Studio Code, and now I can install extension. And let's install it. Probably it will help us with editing and writing code. Okay, I have my extension. I can hide this, and let's go back to docs. And now I can run dev server with command npm run dev. And I'm going to launch new terminal here, site Astro blog, and run dev server. And let's open it in browser. Okay, and we have some application running locally. Okay, and we saw this Astro, and I can create new Astro project, and I can start Astro dev server. And let's go next and write your first line of Astro. Okay, and they propose to edit home page, and let's go to source files, index. I can hide console. And let's check. And they propose to change header, and let's do it. Change Astro to my Astro site, and let's check. And we have my Astro site header. Okay, and can mark it as done and go to the next step. And I'll skip the store your repository online and commit on GitHub. I'll work locally, and I will skip deploying step. And now I have unit 2 pages, and let's go further. and create your first Astro page. Okay, and now I can go source pages, and I have index Astro, and let's create about. Okay, inside pages, I can create new file and add about. Let's check what next, and now I can copy content of index file to my about. Okay, and now I can add about to my class inside browser, and let's check what I have. And we have the same content, and they propose to edit about page. I'm going to copy and change content of about page, and let's check. Probably I need to add some formatting. Okay, and as you can see, we have content on about page, and let's add navigation links inside about, and I can add navigation links. Okay, and let's check. I can go home and can go about, and we're on the about page, and we can add now blog page. Okay, and they propose to add the next file inside pages, and file will be blog, and I'll just see the code and copy new file, and then copy index file inside blog, and we'll paste this content. Okay, and they propose change index. Okay, let's do it inside my index. And I can add navigation also to blog. Let's add it here. Save and adds. Let's add it to index. And let's check what I have so far. I'm going to refresh, and as you can see on about page, we have home, about, and blog, and about blog the same as home. Okay, and we can navigate between pages. Let's check what next. And they propose to change blog page. Okay, and let's do it. Blog. And let me check. I can remove this h1 tag. Let's add it here, my content, and go to blog page. And as you can see, I have this content here, and I'll skip this publish. And let's go next. And next is write your first Markdown blog post. Okay, and I need new directory posts inside source files, pages. Okay, and let me add new folder posts. Now let's check what next, and I can add new file, site posts, markdown file. Okay, and let's go to post 1. Okay, and we have nothing here, just empty page, and they propose to check post 2. Okay, and as you can see, we have some not found page. Let's go to our post 1, and now we can add this content to our post 1. Let's do it. And let's check. And as you can see, we have content of our markdown file here. Okay, and we checked it. We can use DevTools, and they propose change block. Okay, and let's add it to our blog page. Okay, and let's check blog I can remove this and go to my blog. And as you can see, I have link to our post 1. And now they propose to create post 2 file. And let's do it. Okay. And copy content. Okay. Let's check. And also we can create post 3. Okay. Let me copy this and provide the name and copy content and provide it here. Okay, and now we can update our blog page and add more links. Okay, and let's check. And as you can see, we have links. We can go back, and I have post 2 and also post 3. Okay, and everything looks good so far. Let's go next. And next is add dynamic content about you. Okay, and let's check what we have next. Open about page and add variable. Okay, let's try it. About, and I can add variable here. Let's check, and now we can use our variable inside title. And inside title, I provide this variable page title. And also we can change h1 tag, and use our variable. Okay, and let me refresh and go to about. And as you can see, we have title about me and also header about me. Okay, and what's next? JavaScript expressions in Astro. Okay, we can add some object and array of strings. And let me add it. Okay, we have identity and it's an object with properties like first name, country, occupation, hobbies, and also we have skills. It's an array of strings. Okay, and let's see how we can use it. Okay, and I'm going to copy this and provide it here. Okay, and I need to check and fix format. Probably I need to add some how to format our rules, but let's leave it as it is. And let's check. Okay, and as you can see, let's go to the code. And as you can see, we used first name, country, and occupation from our object. And also skills is an array of strings, and we use map method of array to iterate through skills and provide them. Okay, and we have dynamic content all skills and also some properties from object. Okay, looks good so far. And let's check what I have next. And we can add more variables after skills. Okay, and let's check. And we can use conditional rendering. It's similar to React, I believe. Okay, and let's check. And I have string I'm happy to be learning Astro, and my goal is to finish in 3 days. Okay, and let's check what I can change. I can change finish to true, and let's check. And we have I finished this tutorial, and I can change it to false. And we don't have this line anymore. Okay, and I can mark them as done, and I'll skip this button and we'll go to styles. And let's check what we can add. Styles, and we can add h1 style for h1, inside about page, and I'm in about, and let me check, and we can add it after title. Okay, and let's check, and as you can see, we have about me with new styles, and they propose to check home and blog, and as you can see here, we have initial h1 tag. Okay, and now we can add class skill to list item, and let's check. We have list item. Let's add class skill and go to styles and add styles for that class. Okay, and let's check. And as you can see, we have styles for li. And now they propose to add const with some color. Okay, and let's check. And we can use this variable inside style. Let me add it here and use this variable instead of just green color. So let's check. And as you can see, the color was changed. And I'll skip this additional stuff. And let's check what we have next. Add site-wide styling. Okay, and here we can add styles to our source files. Inside source files, I'm going to create new folder, styles, and add global CSS. Inside styles file, just will copy this. Okay, and in about page, I'm going to import. Let's go to about and import our style at the top and save. Okay, and let's check. And as you can see, the styles were changed, and we have some styles for about page. Okay, and I'll skip this part and go to components. And let's check what I have next. I'm just going next and make a reusable navigation component. Okay, and now we need to create folder components inside source files, and new folder will be components and navigation component. Okay, we need to create navigation file. Okay, and provide some code. Okay, and now we can import it inside index file. Okay, let's import and change our link to navigation. Okay, and let's check, refresh and go to home, and we have the same links but from component. Okay, and that works. And let's add the same navigation to about and Astro. I'm going to copy paste this and add to my about. And let's add the styles to index and also to block. I'll add styles and navigation. And now I can use navigation component in my block instead of this code. We don't have repeated code anymore, and we can change our navigation, and we'll have this navigation across all pages. Looks good so far. And let me go to about the block, and let me try to change some text. Home to, and as you can see, I have home to. Okay, and that works. Let's go back to docs, and I can mark as done and go to create a social media footer. Okay, and now we can add our footer. inside components, new file, and let me copy this code. Okay, and what's next? And now we can import our footer in all components. Let me add it to about, block, and index. Okay, and add footer before closing body. Okay, and the same to block, and the same to about. Okay, let's check. And let's check. And as you can see, we have the text from footer, and also here and here. Okay, and that works. And next, they propose to create social component, and let's do it. Okay, and I'll just take this code and we'll provide it here. Okay, and now we can import it inside our footer instead of these variables, and change paragraph to this component. Okay, and now we can add styles to our social. Okay, and add styles to our footer component. Okay, let me check. They added styles here. Okay, and let's check what we have. Okay, and as you can see, styles were added, and we have links to some Astro docs, I believe GitHub, Twitter, YouTube, and the same we have on home and on blog. Okay, it looks good so far. I can mark it as done and go next. And next, they propose to build header, and I'll just see the code. And they propose to add new component. Okay, inside components, I'll add header and this code. Okay, and next we'll just change navigation to header. Okay, cite this code, I believe, and also here. Okay, change navigation to header, and also here. Okay, and also here and here. And we'll need import instead of navigation. I need header. Okay, and also here and header instead of navigation, and we'll leave footer and remove navigation import. Okay, let's check what we can add next, and next we can add class nav links to our navigation. Okay, navigation, and okay, we can add nav links and here. Okay, and copy CSS styles to our global CSS. Okay, let me add the styles, go to global CSS and add styles. Okay, and let's check. And as you can see, we have styles for our header component. Go to home, and we can open developers tools, and let's resize. Okay, and as you can see, we have some media queries styles, and when the size is less than 636. We don't have our header. And let me mark as done and go to the next and send your first script to the browser. And they propose to build a Hamburger component. And let's do it. And inside components, I will add Hamburger and copy this code. Okay, and let's check next. And I can import and paste it to header. Okay. And also I can add Hamburger to navigation. Okay, and I need to copy this. Okay, and let's check. And next we need to add styles to global CSS. Okay, and go to styles and add them here. Okay, and also we need to add styles to media queries. Okay, and it will be here. Okay, and now we need to write script tag. And inside index Astro, let's add this code inside index. And we need to place it below footer. Okay, and check browser. Let me go to home. Let's check. And as you can see, now I have this Hamburger. And when I press on Hamburger, I have home, about, and blog menu. Let's go to about. And let's check. We have Hamburger, but it doesn't work because we haven't added script. And let's fix it. And they propose importing JavaScript file. And we need to create first this file inside source files. I'm going to add folder. We need folder scripts, and inside scripts we'll add menu JavaScript. And, let me do it and provide this code. Okay, and now we can import our file. And let me change the index file, and I believe we need the same for about. Okay, and we can add it below footer, and the same for blog. Okay, and yeah, inside blog, and that's all. And let's check our functionality. I'm going to press on Hamburger, and as you can see, we have the menu, and for blog the same. And let's return our header for large screens. And let me close developer tools and refresh the page and go to home, about, blog. And as you can see, we have simple blog with navigation, with menu, footer, and also with some blog posts. And that's all that I have for today. In the next video, I'm going to add more complex functionality that I have in tutorial. And if you like the video, subscribe to my Dev Web App channel, like the video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.